Okay, so I'm just going to get started. This session is being recorded as well. So hi everybody, welcome to this webinar. My name is Sue Lewis and I head up the Careerpilot team. I'm based at the University of Bath, but I work on behalf of 6 Uni Connects and 20 universities. What I'm going to show you is Careerpilot, and I'm going to show you how one website has all the information, tools and advice to support young people on their careers journey. So this will be a bit of a whistle-stop tour, but we do have a stand in the expo section. So if you want to come and have a chat, then I'm happy to answer any questions at that point. So Careerpilot is one site, but we do have 4 zones. We have a student, reporting, advisor and parent zone. And if a school is using all parts of the programme, then that is really contributing to Gatsby One, a stable careers programme for young people. So the site runs from year 11 to year 13. We are an award-winning website as well. We won the CDI award in 2018. We also now have the Careerpilot Pathway Planner that we developed through a bid to the Careers and Enterprise Company. And this is a triage model and tool that helps to allocate guidance according to 3 different levels of need. And I'll just mention that briefly at the end. But Careerpilot's been going since 2011. The Pathway Planner is a more recent add-on. So just to explain how we're funded, in this geographical area, Careerpilot is free for schools and colleges to use. And that is because it's funded by 20 universities and 6 Uni Connects. It's a completely impartial website. It's not just about university, but it is about trying to give the right information to students so they can make good quality decisions. Whatever you are, you have to buy the Pathway Planner as an add-on, which is quite a kind of reasonably priced add-on to your main Careerpilot site. If you're external to our free-to-use area, then you pay for a subscription to Careerpilot and also a subscription to the Pathway Planner. And I can tell you more about that at the end. So Careerpilot, we're very much trying to encourage a whole school approach to career development with the student at the centre. So there's activities for every year group that actually help the students to develop their career skills so they become effective managers of their own careers, which is obviously something they need in a very changing world where lots of things come and go, and you know, the pandemic has really highlighted the need for students to actually have a process of managing their own career, I think. So the careers leader is the person who's instrumental in trying to put this program together. So there's lots of things in Careerpilot to support the careers leader in setting up this efficient and effective program. So we have a 3-stage career process that we teach to students that they can keep returning to when they make a career decision. And as I said, the activities for every year group, they sort of build each year and they're tied in with the decisions or the exploration that student needs to make. There's also lots of resources to support the process, like 5-week PSHE programs and lots more besides. And then to engage all the people who also need to be talking about careers, there's lots of resources to help them as well. We've got the parents' site, we've got resources for subject teachers, and everything is leading towards personal guidance. Behind Careerpilot, we're all qualified careers advisors. I'm an ex-teacher as well, so we're very passionate about making sure young people get all the information they need to make informed decisions. So the Pathway Planner comes in really at year 11 and 12, more of that later. So in terms of a whole school approach, just to show you a little bit about that, we've got activities for every age group. So a year 8 could click on here and have suggested activities on Careerpilot, which are about exploration. Year 9 will be about choosing options, etc. And then we've got introductory presentations that you can use with these activities. And a lot of these are now available as pre-recorded video lessons with somebody in my team delivering the lesson, so they could be done at home, or a tutor could deliver the lesson, stopping and starting the video as appropriate. And then we've got lots of things to wrap around here. The 5-week PSHE programs I mentioned, resources for Gatsby 4 for subject teachers to relate their subject to careers, over 40 hot job posters and social media packages that can be sent out. Lots of our schools will do job of the week to parents and to students, which link with Gatsby 2. So I'm just going to show you some of the sort of highlights, and hopefully you get a chance to play on Careerpilot when you've got a bit more time. So this is the free access part of Careerpilot, so anybody can use this. Lots of information and tools to help students get started. But if a school is subscribing, then their students can register here, and when they signed in, they get access to career tools, and then they can be building the report of all the things they're interested in. So if they see one of our job sectors or job profiles, they can add it here and build their report and all that information populates our reporting zone. So as at school, college, you can actually see the choices young people are interested in, so you can support them on their careers journey. So you can access the advisor zone, the parent zone from here. So careerpilot.org.uk gets you into everything. We've got our popular tools, job profiles, course search, provider search, qualification planner, over 1,000 videos in the site, all tied into jobs and qualifications. And then we've got what we call our three-stage process. So this is something we're trying to show the students so they can come back to whenever they make a career decision. Start with you, your motivations and interests, explore your options, plan your next steps, or just look at a particular pathway you're already thinking about, and what you'll find is information, advice, and links to other websites that can help you as well. So our three-stage process: start with you, activities to help students understand more about themselves, their motivations, their interests. They can start with the subjects who might lead. There's a job sector quiz they can do. There's a skills map as well. The job sector quiz is 50 pictures of things you might want to do in a work situation. They can take as many as they want, and then it tells them what sectors seem to match with the things they're particularly interested in, so they can start to explore those. And that all connects to Gatsby too. They can start with the subject, so they could look at computing, for example, and see where a subject might lead. So they'll get examples of jobs, courses, apprenticeships, and they can click for more information. They can also add that to their career tools. The skills map is a very popular part of the site. So we have a pre-16 and post-16 version. So we ask students what they've done already in their life, their learning. Post-16 will get asked about work as well. So they can indicate as many of these things they've done already, like in hobbies. I've kept going with a hobby or sport, out to school. And then for everything they tick, we show them what skills they probably developed by doing that activity. Then in the skills profile dashboard, they'll see all their skills. This is the post-16 version. We do map to the skills builder skills as well if you're doing that. So at the top now, this student has got 5 examples of teamwork generated through the quiz. And the idea is they use this to keep updating and adding their own examples. So they could put in anything they've done, babysitting, a job, whatever it might be. What skills has that activity given you? And they all get added in. So they're all there when you want to apply later. The other thing you could do is match your skills to the skills required in a job. So you could put in the name of a job, nurse, doctor, plumber, whatever it might be. See the skills required for that job, and also see your own skills alongside it. And that would help you to get an idea of the things you have now and the things you could develop further. And then they can use all this information to apply. So I'm giving you a quick roundup. There's an awful lot in Careerpilot. So we're on to section 2 now, the explore your options section. And you can explore your options by looking at age. What my choice is 16. You can look for jobs or courses, apprenticeship vacancies, see providers near to where you are, view lots of video stories, or plot your route on a qualification planner. Just going to show you some of these things quickly. So the job sectors, they come from the National Careers Service, but we've actually put them into a different format, as you can see. So students could put in a job or a sector, drill down to a job profile, and find out a lot of information about how to get in, and labour market information as well. There's the skills again. There's always video stories about that particular job as well. They can also look at our course search, so they can look for different sorts of courses. I'm just going to show the degree course. There's also an apprenticeship vacancy search as well. So they can put in the name of a degree. There's also a drop down so they can get ideas, where they live, how far they want to go. They get a short list, and then they can look at more data, and they can click straight into that course. They can also save choices in Careerpilot. So that little cross you can see, that's at the top right hand corner on most pages. So anything they like, they can add. So they're building up their personal careers report. So when they come to the next stage, they've got all this information. So how are you going to plan your next steps? So they can use their full report. They can actually use the skills map. There's also a little action planner that we use a lot with the students at any stage to get them to just have 1 or 2 things that they're going to do, which is all about them managing their own careers. It comes from the, you just asked a question about the degree course information. It comes from Unistats. And he said, I think, a bit as well, sorry, I can't quite remember, the IT company kind of work with all that, right? Okay, just to say then, everything works towards a report for the students. So their career tools report is visible to them here. It can be quite detailed, have all their choices on it too. And if an advisor or a tutor they wants to write a comment or a report, that could be put straight on here. So careers guidance advisors will write their report, and then it's visible to the student from this point. The report moves up on them annually. So we save a snapshot every year, but there's always a live report as well. I'll have a look. So that's our advisor zone. While you're having a quick look at that, I'll just have a quick look at the chat. The apprenticeship information comes from gov.uk. Okay, so this is the advisor zone. So the advisor zone is where there's lots of lesson plans and materials to support implementation of Careerpilot, but also to support Gatsby as well. And we haven't got time to look at it all, but I'll just flag up a few things as we, sorry, I'll mention here. So we've got resources for every key stage. 5-week PSHE programs for each key stage. There's resources for subject teachers, key stage 4 and key stage 5. There's career guides for popular subjects with all the latest information about how you get into that particular job. There's lots of things actually, which I haven't got time to go through in detail here. We've also got parents zone. So parents love the main site, so we definitely tell them about that. But we also have a way of them being able to find out the answers to questions. So they can click on choices 16 or whatever it might be, and then there'll be common questions that we have from parents with an answer to help them understand that, so they can support their young person effectively. And just looking at the chat. No, all those, the degree search, the apprenticeship search are all national. Then we have the reporting zone. So schools have to complete date sharing agreement, and then they can access the reporting zone. So there's various things you can do. You can look at reports by school group or by individual, and then you can see what they've done. And you can look at particular reports like what job sectors a particular group might be interested in. And you can see where they're exploring, they're definite. And that information is really useful when you're trying to put encounters together, because you can see what particular job sectors they're interested in. So I'm going to mention quickly the Pathway Planner. So the Pathway Planner we developed through a bid to the Careers and Enterprise Company. We piloted it in 6 schools last year, and is now available for other schools and colleges to add on to their Careerpilot site. So we've got 94 colleges and 94 schools and 4 colleges who've signed up. So this model is a 3-stage process. So it starts with all students having this 1-hour session in an IT room or on some sort of IT, where they can actually be introduced to all the options. So everybody in schools will be doing things to help students understand about options, but on this one occasion we will just go through the options that are available for them at the next stage, so we know that everybody in that room understands those. So if it's year 11, it's about post 16, year 12 is about post 18. And for the last 10 minutes of the session, they'll use our Pathway Planner tool. So this will now say which pathway you're interested in, and they should have an idea because we just spent this time talking about them, and they will have explored the ones they're interested in on Careerpilot. And then for each one they're considering or interested in, they can do a quick quiz, and that will assess how ready they are for that pathway by asking them a set of questions about things they've done or things they understand. That gives them a red, amber, green score. And that data is all visible then to the careers leader and the guidance advisor. And then you can allocate guidance at 3 different levels of need. The guidance will then take place, Careerpilot will be used for that. The report will be recorded on Careerpilot about 3 or 4 weeks after guidance. A tutor will do a 5-minute check. We give them 3 particular questions to ask their tutees. And if they're at all concerned with them, wrapped around this whole model, there's at least 1 lunchtime of drop-in. So a tutor can refer a student back into that. Student can refer themselves as well. There's also e-guidance, and all these things are managed and tracked through the system. So just show you quickly how that works. So for the student, the pathway plan will be switched on here. They will indicate the pathways they're interested in, and then they will do the guidance quiz for the pathways, and then they will get their red, amber, green score. Going through this quite quickly because of time. And everybody's going to get guidance, but people will get guidance at different levels. If they're green, they get a 20-minute check of their plan. If they're amber, they get 30 minutes. And if they're red, for a definite pathway, or they have additional needs, which you can tag through the system, or they're thinking about friendships, which is quite complicated, they'll get the longest level of guidance. And what the pathway planner shows you as a member of staff in the reporting zone is a dashboard showing you what pathways the students are interested in. So year 11 didn't do it on this one, post 16 did, but also how ready they are. You can tag additional needs. There's lots of actions you could perform against the individual. You can see their answers. You can book guidance. You could do a follow-up summary. You can tutors follow-up can be recorded here as well. And if you've set up any guidance, it'll show you here. Pink, you've done it. Green is coming up. And all this can be tracked through the system. I'm just giving you the headlines here. What students get is a timeline which shows them where they were in the pathway plan on a particular date. All the guidance interventions are shown on the timeline. Then they edit their responses, and what you're trying to do is move them to a point where they're green or amber before they get their results. So we get lots of really positive feedback about Careerpilot from students. This is just an example. And they particularly like having their own account, being able to tag the things they're interested in, bookmarking, seeing their report, and the job profiles was very popular. So if you're interested in Careerpilot, if you're in our free to use area, then Careerpilot is free to you. You just add on the pathway planner, should that be of interest. If you're outside our area and you want to have access to Careerpilot, then it's £599 per annum. But if you want to add on the pathway planner, that's another £200. So if you have any questions, you can come to our stand. Somebody will be there all day. That's in the expo section. But we also have a helpline. So careerpilot@bath.ac.uk will get you to Joe, who can answer any questions should you want to ask more detail. And she's available from 9 till 3 every day in term time. Happy to take any chat questions now if we've got time. But also happy for you to come to our stand, and you can request register an interest, and then we can get back to you outside the meeting, the event today as well. Thank you for listening. If there's any last minute questions, do put them into chat, and Michael's put a link to our stand should you want to come and have a look. Kat, in terms of your questions, if you're a careers advisor, you have to be in a school that's actually got Careerpilot, but then it's completely accessible to you. The school sets you up with access.
I think, Sue, the question there was partly about if you were a consultant and you work with independent clients, would you be able to use Careerpilot?
You would need to be, the students would be in a school that offered Careerpilot. You can, of course, use the free aspects of Careerpilot in your work, but if you wanted to access the reporting zone, it would actually be through a school that's actually got Careerpilot, got access to the reporting zone. So independent students are a bit more tricky, and if they're completely not attached to a school. Having said that, we do set up schools, like for virtual schools we've got in our area, and schools or organisations just work with NEET students, for example. So if you're in our free to access area, then we can do some of that. If you're outside our area, then you have to pay a subscription in order to have that opportunity.
Thank you very much. I can see there are more questions, but we are going to have to wrap it up for now. So, Richard, okay. I don't know if you'd like to perhaps go and join Sue on the expo stand and continue your question there. Thank you all very much for your questions. And thank you for a great session, Sue.
Thank you. Richard, might be worth to come to the stand because I have got an answer for your question. So see you there, hopefully.